Let's continue with some more A&M. Number 34. Archie hears from Mars. At 11 o'clock p.m. on last Saturday evening, I received the following message on my own private radio set. Good evening, little Archibald. And how are you? This is Mars speaking. I replied at once, whom or who is the case may be. Do I know? On Mars, everyone here is familiar with your work, Archie, was the answer, and we feel well repaid for all the troubles we have had in getting in touch with your planet, and I thank you. I replied, I would rather hear Mars say that any other planet. Mars has always been one of my favorite planets. It is sweet of you to think that way about us, said Mars, and so we continue to pay each other interstellar compliments. That is, or are 35 million miles between kindred souls. Tell us all about your planet, said Mars. Well, I said, it's round like an orange or a ball, and it's all cluttered with automobiles and politicians. It doesn't know where it is nor why, but it is in a hurry. It is in charge of a two-legged animal called man who is genuinely puzzled as to whether his grandfather was a god or a monkey. You're mighty loud, Jug. I should think that, said Mars, that what he is himself would make more difference than what his grandfather was. Not to this animal, I replied. He is the great alibi Ike of the cosmos when he raises hell just because he feels like raising hell. He wants somebody to blame it on. Can anything be done about him, said Mars? I'm doing the best I can, I answered, but after all, I am only one, and my influence is limited. You are too modest, Archie, said Mars. We all but worship you here on this planet. A prophet, said I, is not without honor, save on his own planet. No, wait a minute, says Mars. I want to write that down. That is one of your best things, Archie. It is original. And was once, I answered, truthfully, and may be again. Would you tell us something you said, Mars? About yourself, what you look like, and what you think is the best thing what you have written, and your favorite games, and that sort of thing? Well, I said, I am brunette and stand over 6 feet without any shoes on. The best skits I have done, with some little plays I dash off under the general title of Shakespeare's plays, and my favorite sport is theology. You must meet many great interesting people, said Mars. Oh yes, said I. One becomes accustomed to that after a while. What is your favorite dish, said Mars, and do you believe in the immortality of the soul? Stew, I said, and yes, at least mine is immortal, but I could name several others that I have my doubts about if there is anything else. Of interest about your planet, which you wish to tell your many admirers on Mars? Asked Mars. There is very little else of any real interest, I said, and now will you tune out and let me do some work. And people who admire you people who say you admire my work are always butting in and taking up my time. How the hell can I get any serious literary work done if you keep bothering me all the time? Now, you get off the ether and let me do some deep thinking. You might add, I am shy and loathe publicity. Archie. Mehitabel dances with Boreas. Well, boss, I saw Mehitabel last evening, and she was out in the alley dancing on cold cobbles, while the wild December wind blew through her frozen whiskers as she danced. She wailed and sang to herself, uttering the fragments that rattled in her cold brain, in part as follows. Whirl, Mehitabel, whirl, spin, Mehitabel, spin. Thank God you are a lady still, for you have frozen skin. Blow wind out the north, to hell with being a pet. My left front foot is brittle, but there's life in this old dame yet. Dance, Mehitabel, dance, caper and shake a leg. What little blood is left will fizz like wine in a keg. Wind come out the north and pierce the guts within, but someday Mehitabel's guts will string a violin. Catgut, ah! Moon, you're as cold as frozen, skin of a yellow banana that sticks in the frost and ice on top of a garbage can. And you throw a shadow so chilly that it can scarcely leap. Dance, shadow, dance. You've got no place to sleep. Whistle a tune, north wind. On my hollow marrow bones, I'll dance the time with 3 good feet here on the alley stones. Freeze your bloody December, I could never stay a pet. But I'm a lady in spite of hell, and there's dance in this old dame yet. Whirl, Mehitabel, whirl. Flirt your tail and spin. Dance to the tune your guts will cry when they string a violin. 8 of my lives are gone, it's years since my fur was slicked, but blow north wind blow, I'm damned if I'm licked. Girls, we was all of us ladies, we was, oh what the hell. And once a lady, always game, by crikey blood will tell. I might be somebody's pet, asleep by the fire on a rug, but me, I was always romantic. I had the adventurous bug. Caper, Mehitabel, caper, leap, shadow, leap. You gotta dance till the sun comes up, if you've got no place to sleep. I might have been many tomcats' wife, but I have no regret. I live my life, and as I liked my life, and there's pep in the old dame yet. Blow wind out of the north, you cut like a piece of tin. Slice my guts into fiddle strings, and we'll have a violin. Spin, Mehitabel, spin. You had a romantic past, and you're gonna cash in dancing when you are croaked at last. I will not eat tomorrow, and I did not eat today. But what the hell, I ask you, the word is toujours gay. Whirl, Mehitabel, whirl, I was once a Maltese pet, till I went and got abducted, and cripes, I'm a lady yet. Whirl, Mehitabel, whirl, and show your shadow how. Tonight is a dance with a bloody moon, tomorrow is a garbage scow. Whirl, Mehitabel, whirl, spin, shadow, spin. The wind will pipe on your marrow bones, your slates are a mandolin. By cripes, I have danced the shimmy in rooms as warm as a dream, and gone to sleep on a cushion with a belly full of cream. It's one day up and next day down, I led a romantic life. It was being abducted so many times as it spoiled me for a wife. Dance, Mehitabel, dance till your old bones fly apart. It ain't got any regrets, for I gave my life to my art. Whirl, Mehitabel, whirl, caper my girl and grin, and pick at your guts with your frosty feet, there's the strings of the violin. Girls, we always was ladies, until we went and fell. And once a thoroughbred, always game, I ask you, what the hell? It's last week up, and this week down is always the devil to pay, but cripes, I was always a lady, and the word is toujours gay. Be a tabby tame if you want, somebody's pussy and pet. That life I lead was a life I liked, and there's pep in this old dame yet. Whirl, Mehitabel, whirl, leap, shadow, leap. You gotta dance till the sun comes up, for you got no place to sleep. Archie at the zoo. The centipede down the street goes braggartly with scores of feet, a gaudy insect but not meat. Neat. The octopus' a secret wish is not to be a formal fish. He dreams that sometime he may grow another set of legs or so and be a Broadway music show. Oh, do not always take a chance upon an open countenance. The hippopotamus's smile conceals a nature full of guile. Human wandering through the zoo, what do your cousins think of you? I worry not of what the Sphinx thinks, or maybe thinks she thinks. I have observed a setting hen arise from that same attitude and crackle forth to chicks and men some quite superfluous platitude. Serious camel, sad giraffe, are you afraid that if you laugh those graceful necks will break in half? A lack of mental outlet dictates the young cetacean's spoutlet. He frequent blows like me and you because there's nothing else to do. When one sees the austral dawn, a wistful penguin perched upon a bald man's beak and desert dome, one knows it's yearning for its home. The quite irrational Ishunaman is such a fool it's almost human. Despite the sleek shark's far-flung grin, his pretty dorsal fin, and his heart is hard and black within, even within a dentist chair, he still preserves a sinister air. A prudent dentist always fills himself with gas before he drills. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? Blah! And the last poem for tonight, The Dissipated Hornet. Well, boss, I had a great example of the corrupting influence of the great city, brought to my notice recently by a drunken hornet. Blew in here the other day, and sat down in the corner, and dozed and buzzed. Not a real sleep, you know, but one of those wakeful liquor trances, with the fuzzy talk oozing out of it to hear. This guy mumbled in his dreams. He was right wicked by name, he says. His crusty Bill. I've never been licked, and I never will, and there he would go halfway asleep. Again, nobody around here wanted to fight him, and after a while he got sober enough to know how drunk he had been. I'm ready to cry over it and get sentimental about himself. Mine is a wasted life, he says, but I've had a good start. Red liquor ruined me, how he says, and sobbed to tell me your story. I said, 2 years ago, he said, I was a county hornet, young and strong and handsome. I lived in a rusty rainspout with my parents and brothers and sisters, and always innocent and merry often. In that happy pastoral life, we would swoop down with joyous laughter and sting the school children on the village green. But on an evil day, alas, I came to the city in a crate of peaches. I found myself in a market near the waterfront alone, and friendless in the great city. Its ways were strange to me. Food seemed inaccessible, I thought, that I might starve to death as I was buzzing down the street, thinking of these gloomy thoughts as I met another hornet just outside a speakeasy. Kid, he says, you look down in the mouth. Forget it, kid, I will show you how to live without working. How, I says. Watch me, he says. Just then a drunken fly came crawling out of the barroom in a leisurely way. My new-found friend stung, dissected, and consumed that fly. Well, that's the way, he says, smacking his lips. This is the life of a beer fly. Wait, I will get you a cocktail fly. This is the life I took up. Alas, flies around the barroom get so drunk drinking that it is spilled that they are helpless. All a hornet has to do is wait calmly until they come striking out. And there he is, living ready-made for him. At first, being young and innocent, I ate only beer flies, but the curse of drink got me. The mad life began to tell upon me. I got so that I would not eat a fly that was not as full, as strong, and heady. Liquor the lights. The life got me. I would not eat fruits and vegetables anymore. I scorned flies from soda fountain. and they seemed flat and insipid to me. Finally I got so wicked that I went back to the country and got 6 innocent young hornets and brought them to the city with me. I started them in the business, I debauched them, and now they caught my flies for me. I am in an awful situation. My 6 hornets from the country have struck and set up on their own hook. I have to catch my flies myself, and my months of idleness and dissipation have spoiled my technique. I can't catch a fly now unless he is dead drunk. What is to become of me? Alas, the curse of alcoholic beverages, especially with each meal. Well, I said, it is a sad story, Bill, and it's sort of only too common in these days of ours. It is, he says. I have the gout in my slinger so bad that I scream with pain every time I spear. A fly. I got her into a safe place on the inside of a typewriter and yelled out at him. My vice is suicide, Bill, all the time. He had been pitying himself. My sympathy had been with the flies. Archie. Alright, Christy, I'm excited for more Mouse and His Child tomorrow. In the meantime, I love you dearly. Sleep calm, keep calm. Sleep calm, keep calm, find Llama Carrie Ann. I love you, and I will be home soon. Good night, Christy. Sleep sweetly.